It's your local speechy here, and it's been a little bit of time since I last made a video. Hello, I'm back. So today I'm going to be finally updating you guys about my CFY experience. And if you have not watched my last video or know what that is, it's a clinical fellowship year that the speech language pathologist has to do before they get a full licensure. Right now I have a limited license and I have a supervisor, and after my clinical experience I will have a full license, and at that point I won't have a supervisor anymore. Anyway, you guys, it's been officially over 2 months since I've started actually working, and it's so crazy. It's already been over 2 months. Time has been flying, but I will say I am happy time is flying, and I'll tell you guys about that later when I talk about my experience. But yeah, it's been over 2 months and it's crazy. And also, if you haven't watched my last video about the day in the life of my CFY, I am working at a private practice and I am working with the pediatric population. And guys, the imposter syndrome is crazy. Anyway, just to recap from my last video about my CFY, I work Sundays through Thursdays, and Sundays I work from 9 to 5. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a 10 to 7, and then Thursdays is a half day, which I love, and that is 9 to 2. So the biggest change from my July video of my CFY is my caseload. Oh my God. It went up really fast. So in my July video, I probably had around 35 clients, which was very doable. I really enjoyed that. And now I have about 51 to 52 clients, and I have an eval every week. So as you can tell, the transition period between being a student and being a full-on worker was very short, and my schedule is chaotic. I have a lot of back-to-backs, and it's been really hard with the back-to-backs because my brain is just like fried at that point. So it's just hard to remember everything, and I don't know, I always just feel so exhausted after my back-to-back sessions, and we only have like a 15-minute time frame to get some of those notes done. 15-minute documentation time is not ideal, and it's hard to fit it all in that time. So yeah, that is my caseload. And since I'm telling you how crazy my caseload is, I can tell you about being burnt out. So everybody, I'm sure you want to know, am I burnt out right now? And I can hardcore say yes. I am, mentally and physically kind of tired already. I will say speech pathology is a very demanding field. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to make sure your clients have progress. There's a lot of pressure to make billing right and documentation right. It's just a lot of pressure everywhere. So I am definitely feeling burnt out, and I did know that that was going to happen. I read a lot from other clinicians about their CFY experience, and I definitely saw that, it's gonna be the hardest things to get through in your career, and I'm definitely feeling that. It's just a lot to go from helping your supervisor schedule to having a huge caseload and having to manage all of it. Especially for me, I don't feel like I have the complete skills for everything that I need to do in my sessions, and a lot of times I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll say I have a lot of inspiring quotes on my cubicle area because sometimes I need that. I'll tell you what someone told me, and I wrote this down in my cubicle so I remind myself every day. Someone told me that as long as I'm learning something each day, then that's all that matters, because a CFY is a lot of pressure, and you really shouldn't be too hard on yourselves because a lot of us really don't have those skills yet, and we're all still learning so much. So I just remind myself that every day because I think it really helps me when I'm feeling so freaked out about things and overwhelmed. But yeah, I've definitely felt pretty burnt out. To be truthful, guys, there's been a lot of moments where I've definitely reconsidered my career. And it's hard to say that to you guys because I know this channel is for speech. So I'm sure you're like watching this and you're like, oh my God, like she doesn't even like it that much. Like, why do you have a channel? And I totally get that. I will say, I think a lot of people have these thoughts during their CFY just because it is a lot, and there's a lot that we were not told about our careers that we're learning as we start working. So yeah, I've definitely reconsidered my career a few times, and I will say I think a lot of times the setting that I'm in is very overwhelming, and I think that's something that has made me hate what I've been doing. I think a private practice is very helpful and I'm learning a lot, but I'll say the specific private practice that I'm at, it just feels like a business tactic, and it just seems like they want money and they want more clients, and it just feels like everyone is very burnt out where I'm at. And I think there can be a lot of good private practices, and doing a CFY in a private practice can be very helpful and very fulfilling. I think it's a very productive day at private practice, but I think it just really depends where you're at, which is something I'm definitely seeing. So at my private practice, I'll say I'm just not feeling respected. I don't feel like a respected clinician. I just feel like they promised a lot of things that, they haven't given anybody yet. And I think it's just hard to work in a business that keeps growing, but they don't take the little steps before they grow. For example, they keep hiring new clinicians and trying to fit as many clients in when they don't even have enough rooms for clinicians. A lot of us have to share office spaces with other clinicians, and we have to swap spaces when we have a client. But yeah, overall, I just don't really feel respected. I wish I asked for more money. I feel like I don't get paid enough for the amount I do for them. I'll say there have been multiple times where I've emailed the front desk, the management, to say, hey, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I just started working. Can you please calm down with this scheduling? I don't have these skills yet. And they don't help me. So I don't really feel heard sometimes. And that's kind of hard to know when I'm supposed to be in this CFY where I'm supposed to be getting these skills and learning, and I don't feel like I'm doing that. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed. Also say I did my CFY in the private practice setting because I thought I would learn a lot and experience new disorders and diagnoses that I wasn't able to get in grad school, but so far it's been very repetitive, and it's been really hard to do the same things over and over, especially when I don't like it as much. I have a lot of sensory kids, and that's been very overwhelming because I don't have enough skills to make sure that they're regulated, so half the times my sessions aren't productive because I'm just trying to figure out what they need. I have a lot of early childhood kids that are delayed and not talking yet, so it's just been so repetitive doing the same thing over and over. But now that I'm seeing all these, cases that I've already seen, I kind of wish I did go the school route because I would have had the same thing either way, but I would have probably had a better schedule. So yeah, there's just a lot of, little things that really take away from my experience and make it a lot harder, which is why I said I'm really happy that the time is going by quickly. So overall, do I think my CFY setting is worth it so far? I think it's okay. I'm able to make a lot of materials from their laminator and use their resources, and that's been very nice, but I think there's a lot of cons that are in this setting that I'm in specifically. I don't know, I just really wish I was at a place where they, cared for their clinicians and their clients rather than just the money, because that's what it feels like right now. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I think if you are doing a private practice for your CFY, make sure you talk to the employees there and see how they feel and see if they get time to document, see if they're paid for cancellations, all that good stuff. Just make sure it's a good before you go in it. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys about my experience so far. I wanted to make sure this video wasn't all positive, just because there's pros and cons to everything. And I didn't want you guys to think that it's all easy after graduating. It's definitely not. And I think being in speech pathology, it's definitely a tough career. We have a lot of pressure on us, and we have a lot of disrespect in a lot of settings. So that's just my 2 cents on that. If you guys are looking at CFYs right now, I have a video all about the CFY process. You can go check that out if you want any tips. But for now, that's just my little update. I hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions or comments about my experience so far, let me know. It's so much fun getting to talk to you guys and hear about your experiences. So just let me know if you have any questions. But other than that, that's all the updates I have. I hope you guys found this video informative, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Thanks for checking in and just hanging out with me while we go through this journey together. All right, until next time, bye guys.